So yeah, Matt, with the macro market, I mean, yeah, today started strong for Tesla, especially.
Yeah, we saw just incredibly strong bull market at the open today, and then it
Yeah,
all like went like exactly opposite, kind of across the board.
the market didn't like what it heard about accelerating the timeline for increasing rates.
It's interesting to me how, like this new variant emerges and tanks market all of a sudden, and then the Moderna CEO like already has opinions on what's going to work and what won't. They're always going to say that, oh, we need to invest in some new vaccine and some new booster. I try to take comments from interested parties with a grain of salt. The bigger concern in my mind is rate hikes and some of the stuff that the Fed could be pushing.
And if they push rates up, how is the Fed going to service its debt?
The government is not going to be able to service the debt if it pushes up to 5%.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see beyond a few years, but I would say the rest of this decade, it seems like interest rates are going to have to stay very low. The labor supply isn't good. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that just are not going to work again that used to work.
One other, just point I've been thinking about a little bit lately from a kind of macro market perspective is we've seen kind of cryptocurrencies rise and fall with the broader stock market. But in my mind, I think that correlation is going to break down at some point.
I think the Tesla price action could become really strong going into the end of the year. There's this rumor of December 9th, what's going to happen.
I could see that being, some sort of announcement that, ties together his interest in Doge. Maybe Tesla starts taking some payments in Doge or something like that.
I wonder if it's going to tank come December 9th or December 10th if there's nothing special announced.
Personally, don't think that's likely. I think if we do see some sort of like huge run up going into 12.9 and nothing happens, then I could see that kind of being reversed out.
Rocket Lab, they have their product update on Thursday for the Neutron.
I suspect they've still got a ways to go, but I think we'll probably learn some more of the technical specifications, maybe some of their engineering design choices.
Me and you, we think Peter Beck, the founder of Rocket Lab, is super innovative. He's like a baby Elon Musk.
We saw that leaked email from SpaceX basically saying how much trouble they're having with the Raptor engine, and that's that full flow staged combustion cycle engine which they chose is like amazing from a technical standpoint, but it sounds like it's very, very difficult to manufacture at scale.
SpaceX can always tap investors for more equity, another raise. I don't think they're going to go bankrupt.
I kind of view Tesla as like a medium risk company. They're not at the level of like a Google or a Apple right now, but I think they will be pretty soon. You could imagine by this time next year, Berlin and Austin are kicking in some reasonably strong numbers, and they've kind of sorted through a lot of those kinks. So we talked about this a lot on the interview we had, like the space industry roundtable. Really, the idea is that there are a lot of services that can provide huge amounts of value here on Earth, that constellations of satellites that Rocket Lab is intending to kind of build and launch themselves, much like Starlink is for SpaceX. Then those would be very high margin and have a much larger total addressable market than just kind of launch to low Earth orbit. I think it's a good strategy, when used in kind of moderation and for something that you're kind of optimistic on and wouldn't mind taking delivery of.
It's a great way to think about it, like a good till cancel limit order to buy it at a price below where it is with the intention to hold it for a while. Yeah, 2 factories at once. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm optimistic, but I don't think it's realistic to think that those 2 factories will ramp up as quickly and smoothly as the Shanghai factory. We look at MicroStrategy as sort of a proxy to Bitcoin or almost like a derivative. So there's options on MicroStrategy. And so we're selling calls and puts around MicroStrategy to collect income and a return. A large percentage of MicroStrategy's market cap is actually based on the value of the Bitcoin it holds on its balance sheet.
We track that over time, and sometimes they kind of get out of whack. And so you would expect a correction upward or downward. And so we maybe adjust our strategy a little bit based on that.